Hey, Baylor fans, this is your call to gear up with Harley-Davidson of Waco. Whether you're hitting the open road or tailgating at McLean Stadium, we've got the ride to match your Bear pride. Check out our wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, visit our service department, or shop all the latest gear and accessories to show off your Baylor spirit and Harley pride. Visit us today and find your freedom on two wheels. Harley-Davidson of Waco, where Baylor fans never ride alone. Visit in-store or at hdwaco.com. Sic Em Bears.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into this week's Sic Em Podcast presented by Harley-Davidson of Waco. Glad you're with us. Here we are in the summertime, but still plenty to talk about. And a new staff member for Baylor women's basketball with us today. Welcome in Jaelyn Richard-Harris.
Thank you.
New assistant on Coach Collins' staff.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Waco.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it so far.
Very good. Welcome to the Sic Em Podcast also. We were comparing your stops along the way, the heat factor. It's warm here in Central Texas, but you've been some places where it's been warm also.
Absolutely. Yep. Born and raised in Houston. And so I'm used to the heat, but have bounced from Houston to Louisiana to Florida and can't figure out who's the hottest so far.
Right.
Think I'm going to give it to Florida, but I don't know right now. So it's a little toasty out.
I got you. You might be the right person to give us the perspective on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Comparing the states. But it is warm, but y'all are getting a lot done this year or this time of year. Let's talk about your background a little bit. You said from Houston. Decaney High School in Spring, is that right?
Yes, sir. Decaney, very, very established basketball group we had starting young. So my freshman year was, I believe, Decaney's third year being built. So very new school. Made it to state in each class that we had. So very successful program at the time. I don't know how good they're doing now, but no, very grateful for my experience in high school as a Texas athlete for sure.
Good. State runner-up?
Absolutely.
6A one year?
Absolutely.
Is that your senior year?
Senior year, made it all the way. We're not going to talk about how the game went. But
you made it to the state championship.
Made it to the championship.
Yeah.
That was the goal all along. So happy we were able to accomplish that with the squad that I had.
That was basketball. Did you, any other sports for you?
So I played volleyball as well in high school, but early, like freshman year. And then that was it. I've been a basketball kid my whole life. So I've kind of dabbled in everything. I'm the only girl of cousins.
Okay.
So I have a little sister now, a very younger sister, but growing up, I grew up as an only child for the most part. And so I did everything my cousins did. Flag football, t-ball, anything you want to do, I want to do it as well. So I was a kid that was always outside. Yeah. Now in high school and in middle school, I practiced with track and cross country. I didn't compete, but I just practiced to stay in shape for basketball.
Kind of an off-season thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about your family, your parents? You got any basketball background there?
No basketball background.
It's you,
My mom ran track.
Okay.
She was on the A team in the 7th grade.
Peaked in the 7th grade.
Shout out to Cassie.
That's great.
And then my dad, he played basketball a little bit. He had opportunities to go in college. I don't think he took any of them. He ended up being an engineer, so that was what he decided to focus on. So basketball, I think I just, being outside with the cousins, kind of just fell into my lap, and then I stuck with it.
Very good.
Absolutely.
From Decaney to LSU. And really nice career at LSU on the floor and off the floor. You did a lot of things during your time there.
Absolutely. One of the greatest experiences of my life. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Joe Burrow. So that was my senior season, was the year that our football team won it all, didn't lose a game. So very active in just making sure I was able to see other sports compete when I was in college. Had great squads year in and year out. And then also sat on the chair of SAC for our university, but also was co-chair for the league. So got to participate in a lot of SEC meetings and things of the sorts. And so I dabbled around, it's paying off in the long run with connections. But love Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is a very special place to me.
Good. I mean, that says a lot about you that you were selected for those positions positions, not only at the school, but for the SEC also.
Absolutely. And then, like when you're in it, I first was selected as a sophomore, so I had no clue what I was doing. I was just like, okay, I'll go. Like, sure, I'll sign up. And then like my junior and senior year, I started to appreciate and realize like, oh, well, this is kind of a big deal. Like, okay, you guys care about our opinions. And so, no, definitely made the most of my time in Baton Rouge.
So SEC Women's Basketball Leadership Council, what was the impact that you made or you had a chance to impact?
We sat and kind of basically just made decisions on how to make the athlete experience better.
Okay.
And so that's anything down to conference gifts, like let's talk about the budget. Let's talk about things that we like and things that maybe we should toss. But then we also got the opportunity to sit with the commissioner of the SEC, so meet him and get a feel for who he was. We met with the referees.
Oh, wow.
So we had an opportunity to, if that was something you're interested in, you had that direct contact, but just got a background to how their process works. Like we didn't know that they watch film on themselves as well. Yeah. So they broke down technical fouls, how it's simply a foul. Like everybody makes this big deal out of it, but it's just like any other ordinary foul. So yeah,
sure.
But I think that were like the main things. And they just wanted to hear our opinions on things, you know, and
that's great.
Our chances to better the experience for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, to have student athlete input into those things. I mean, that's huge.
And then it was also an opportunity for you to meet other individuals from different sports from different universities.
Gotcha.
So that was really cool because not often, if you're attending a track meet, are you going to go talk to Tennessee? Are you going to go talk to Texas A&M? So you got an opportunity to do that at that level. And a lot of those people that I met, I'm still friends with this day. So definitely
that's great. What a great experience.
Absolutely.
Sound like you had a pretty well-rounded college experience.
Absolutely. 10 out of 10, I'd do it again.
Yeah. Played for Coach Fargus. What a great experience
Coach
that must
Nikki.
have been.
Yes. Much credit to Nikki for shaping me to the young lady that I am today. I give her a lot of credit for the opportunities that I've received because I played for her. And she knows this. Like, we talk often.
Nice.
I enjoy the fact that she's the president, and being that she's as busy as she is, I'll call her and she'll pick up the phone.
Oh, wow.
So, that means a lot to me, but we had a great time.
Yeah.
We had a great time at LSU. Bumped our heads early on, as any freshman would. But once we figured it out, we got the ball rolling.
And you said she's with the Aces now.
Yes, she is the president of the Las Vegas Aces.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Very good. You mentioned Joe Burrow and that great year, 2019, for LSU football. You know who the defensive coordinator was for LSU that year?
If you say his name, is he here? Is he the head coach of the football team?
Yes, he is.
Okay, listen, because we had a meeting with the athletic department, and he got up to speak, and I was like, man, that guy looks familiar, but I didn't know. Is it like Raymond? Is it Coach Raymond?
No, Coach Aranda.
Aranda.
Dave
I was close.
Aranda.
I was close.
You were.
An A. But when I saw him, I was like, man, he looks familiar, but I had no clue.
That's funny. So y'all sort of two ships passing.
I'll have to stop by his office now.
There you go.
Yeah,
definitely.
Very soft-spoken guy. Like, he wouldn't give head football coach at all.
Yes.
Like, if you just meet him at the mall.
Yes. But we're glad we have him here.
Absolutely.
And that 2019 season was so memorable. He came to Baylor the next year. He was here as our head coach the next year.
Check that out.
So,
small world.
Very fun. So you have your playing career at LSU. Did you always want to get into coaching?
That I did not. So my undergrad years, I was under the impression that I was going to medical school.
Oh.
And then I graduated in COVID. So COVID shifted a lot of things for me.
For a lot of people.
Absolutely. But just one, they ended our season. They sent us home. They was like, go home, don't come back. So we're like, what do you mean? So we haven't been home in 4 years, and now we're forced to go home, forced to stay. And it just was an opportunity for me to figure out a lot of things. And I figured out that you can go to work as a medical professional and get sick. And I was like, oh, no, thank you. So I quickly shifted into other things. My background is in kinesiology.
Okay.
And so I always wanted to do something with sports. And so when I got the opportunity, I didn't know out the gate it was going to be coaching. But once I got the opportunity to, it stuck. It was like, oh, yeah, this is it. And so I've been in it ever since.
Good. So was it your senior year that got cut short?
It was my senior year. So we had just finished our SEC SEC tournament. So the only tournament we had left was NCAA, and they canceled it. It was in New Orleans.
Right.
So that was like our motto, our slogan all year, like 84 miles or 82 miles. Like that was our theme because it was right up the street.
Oh, the Final Four was in New Orleans.
The Final Four was supposed to be in New Orleans. And so we get back from the SEC tournament, and then we get like a text that they canceled it and the season's over, and then we'll meet on Monday. And it was like a culture shock. Like, wait, that's it?
Right.
That's my senior year. Like we didn't get a year back. It was over at that point, and we had to go home. And it was like, wow. So it was difficult.
Yeah. And so you were one, and your class were the ones that you didn't have that option of another year.
Right. We did not get but when I look back at the year that followed, and the mask and the benches separated and getting tested every day, it was like, I think I kind of made I'm glad that my class was everything happens for a reason.
Right. That's a good way to look at it.
For sure.
So what was the path then from there? You're not going to go to medical school. You got the job at what, Gulf State?
Yes. So that was
Gulf
my
Coast
first
State?
Coaching job. So that came 2 years later.
Oh, okay.
In 2020 is the pandemic, so the world is shut down. So you're at home.
Right.
Like,
You're home with a
where
mask
can we
on.
go, right? So my first opportunity within the sports realm, I did an internship at this gym in Houston as a performance coach. So this is more on the strength and conditioning side.
Okay.
I was an intern for them. Long story short, they hired me in like 3 months. So I was working there. Then I got an opportunity to move to Baton Rouge. And one thing about me, like if I'm interested in something, I'm going to try it out. So in that gap from playing to coaching, I tried everything that I was interested in.
Nice.
So art and fashion is things that I'm really passionate about. And so once I got to Baton Rouge, I was working in that realm. And then I tried to ref a little bit because I had been to the meetings, right? So I might as well give it a shot, which it was cool. But I just think at the time my ego wasn't ready for it. Like to go from a player to now be a ref is like I couldn't get with it. And then I got the opportunity at Florida. So under Rory Kuhn at Florida Gulf Coast State, which is a highly rated JUCO, has been for years, and couldn't have had a better start to a coaching career.
Oh, what a great year y'all had.
It was amazing.
Wow.
It was amazing.
What, won 25 games? Had
Absolutely.
a 16-game winning streak in there?
16-game winning streak. Lost our first game in conference, but very competitive league we played in, and then made it to the tournament and lost to a buzzer beater. First time in my life I've ever lost half-court buzzer beater at that.
Oh, no.
And it was but still, like the takeaway from it, I had great kids. I had kids that wanted to get in the gym and stay in the gym. Now they were a little bad off the court, okay? But when it was time to, when the ball was tossed, they were ready to handle their business. So couldn't have had a better start to my career, being that I started there with those guys.
So that was your first taste of coaching.
First taste.
Did it grab you in immediately?
Oh, absolutely. First game. I actually had this conversation with Nikki when she hired me, because she wanted to know, like, okay, well, you bounced around, like, is coaching something you really want to do? And I was like, Nikki, after that first game, it was real.
Wow.
It was like a surreal feeling. Like I felt it everywhere. I was like, okay, I like this.
Nice.
I can stick with this for a while.
So from there to Omaha in Nebraska for a couple of years.
Yes. So I got the opportunity from Coach Gary Banks. Called me up. I flew down, checked it out, because I'm Omaha, being from Texas, like Nebraska. Oh, I don't know. Might be a little cold. But I got an opportunity to go out there with my dad and check it out before I moved. And Omaha has a lot of things to it that a lot of people wouldn't know if they hadn't visited. And so to get out there and see all that the city had to offer, I was like, okay, I can see it. And then playing in the Summit League, very competitive league, different style from anything that I had experienced thus far. So it was definitely an experience worthwhile, for sure. I can say I learned a lot of things.
Good. Did you have a particular role on that staff? Work with one group or?
Well, I was the guards coach.
Okay.
And then my main focus was offense. So I wasn't the offensive coordinator, but I was like the offensive protector, if that made sense. So I was like, I was make sure everybody knows what we're doing offensively. And then on the back end of it, like post game, making sure that, hey, this is what we didn't run correctly. This is how we can be better in that regard. Offensive execution, things of that sort.
Good. Then what was the path that led from Omaha to this job here at Baylor?
From Omaha to Baylor. funny story. There's this guy named Jason Key. Shout out to Jason. That's my guy.
There you go.
He called me up. He was like, hey, Baylor's looking for an assistant coach. Would you like for me to plug you? I was like, absolutely. And so long story short, I'm in Los Angeles at the time, random. Usually I would have been in Omaha.
Right.
I'm in Los Angeles on a random weekend. I'm there for Beyonce Cowboy Carter's concert.
There you go.
And Jason texted me and was like, hey, Nikki Collin asked for your number. She's going to call you in a few. I was like, all righty. As soon as he texts me, Nikki texts right under, is like, hey, are you available in 10 minutes?
Wow.
Absolutely, I'm available. Like, I forget about the concert. I'll prepare for the concert another day. So Nikki called me. We talked for about 2 hours. And then that started the interview process. So I had a couple more phone calls to take, but that was for sure the first one.
Now, I'm told you're a huge Beyonce fan.
Absolutely. I'm
so
a Beehive
you blew off a
representative.
concert to talk to Coach Collin.
Well, the concert wasn't on that day, but I was just preparing for, like making sure my outfit was tight.
Ready.
I was getting my mind right.
I got
But
you.
forget all of that. Like, hey, this is more important right now.
This
okay,
is Nikki
but
Collin.
my ultimate goal is to get Beyonce to a game or something. Like, we got to get her to come out here.
Yeah, make that happen.
Yeah, she's from Houston, right up the street.
There you go.
There's nothing to it but to do it.
Let's make that happen. Very good. So you're here and you jump right in. I mean, these days, it changes every year, but coaching is just different now.
Absolutely.
You haven't coached that long, really, but I'm sure you can see the changes.
Absolutely. And I think my first year at this level, at the Division I level, so Omaha, a lot of rules changed that year. So I'm not sure how often they changed in years prior, but like my first time getting my feet wet, it was like, okay, this week, this is what we can't do. And then next week's like, okay, we can do it now. So it definitely was interesting and just learning the ropes. But I can see where the reality of the game is going and how they're trying to figure out how to apply rules to certain aspects of recruiting and things of the sorts. And so you just have to be ready to adapt. I think like the more you're able to adapt, the more successful you'll be. And that'll help you in the long run.
Good. Be interested in your thoughts. You played at LSU. I mean, you're from Houston. You're from the state. But Baylor women's basketball, pretty good history. There's 3 national championship banners in Foster Pavilion.
Absolutely.
What did you know about Baylor women's basketball? Maybe growing up or just being a basketball player?
So Brittany Griner, we actually saw her, earlier in the week, we took the girls to the WNBA game. So it was the Wings versus the Dream.
Oh, nice.
We had 3 alumni play, Brittany, Nalissa, and Dejanay.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner played high school at Nimitz.
Right.
My aunt was Nimitz assistant principal.
Well, get out.
So I followed Brittany all in high school,
great.
right?
Yeah.
Which I got to tell her this a couple days ago, and she remembered my aunt. It was beautiful.
That's great.
So I followed her all in high school. So when she got to Baylor, we still follow her at Baylor. Not as heavily, but knew that she was here and then knew that they were successful. So growing up and getting recruited by all schools in Texas, Baylor was one on my list that I never got. Like I always wanted to be recruited by Baylor and never really, I guess, piqued their interest. So I think it's funny that I'm here now.
Yeah.
It's like I finally got a taste to be a Baylor Bear. And, just very grateful for the opportunity.
Very good. That's good. That's a great story about Nimitz. Nimitz High School.
I'm telling you, small world.
Yeah. So there's a lot of new. There's a lot of new on the women's staff this year, staff-wise. Some new players, obviously, but a really good core of returning players.
Absolutely.
Do you have a handle of the players and kind of the way this team is taking shape?
Still figuring out. I just really realized that we have a small group of returners because I know Jana tore ACL and didn't play, even though she still has that leadership from being here. But as many new staff members we also have the same amount or even more new players. So it's kind of like a brand new family being put together in a sense. And so far, so good. We have a lot of work on the court, and then we have great strengths within the coaching staff. So I think it's going to come together beautifully. I think Nikki Collin knows how to run an organization. And I'm a youngin' saying that, like come in and just seeing the way the organization and the way we operate, it's like, it's wow. It makes sense as to why Baylor is a top 25 program and are able to compete at a high level and be successful because it's the inner workings of the inside.
Yeah. It's fun to see the chemistry,
Absolutely.
being built, the things you do, like going to that WNBA game,
Absolutely.
as a team, and the bonding and, just traveling together, even to that, are pluses as everybody gets to know each other.
Absolutely. Nikki kind of made a point recently that she wants to treat our players just as well as she treats our recruits. Like, she doesn't want to make it seem as though, hey, we're doing all these big things for these kids and we're not going to do it for you guys. Like, you guys are our family. We want them to join our family, and this is the reality of our family. So far, so good. I've been blown away. And have competed at this level, and to still be able to be blown away is it's insane. Like, I'm so grateful to be here.
Good. Part of the chemistry or culture building. Also, I understand you are playing softball together this summer.
Yes.
Waco City League softball.
Waco City League. Our
How's
team
that going?
is Hits and Giggles.
Hits and Giggles is the name of the team.
Still working on my hits, but I have all the giggles. Like, I am supplying the giggles, okay? So far, so good. So we play, I believe our season is 4 Wednesdays long, so 4 weeks long, 2 games a day. 2 games a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so we're 4-0 at the moment. Like, we're sitting pretty. Right. So halfway through the season, it's looking good. But no, it's just an opportunity for us to bond with each other outside of work, but then also engage within the community. Like, I think it's cool that people see, like, oh, that's the women's basketball staff. Some of us can hit and some of us can't, and I'm very grateful to be walked, but no, we absolutely are enjoying ourselves, besides the mosquitoes. Like, if we could just get the mosquitoes under control, then we'll have way more fun.
Now, is this the staff that makes up the team, or staff and players, student athletes? This
is the staff majority. So we have the staff. We have a couple GAs. Juliana, our general manager.
Oh, put Juliana out
Absolutely. And then we have a couple wives. So Aaron's wife plays and Caleb's wife plays.
Nice.
That's our squad. We also have, I can't remember her name, but she works with softball.
Okay.
And so when I met her, I was like, oh, that's perfect. We have a softball representative.
You got a ringer in there.
Yes, because she can hit the ball. But yeah, so still learning my teammates. Like, every 1 week we might have this person, 1 week we might have somebody else. But yeah, we're hitting and giggling.
Hitting and giggling. Watch for hits and giggles out there. Waco City League softball.
Absolutely.
And a few of your early season games have been announced, not the whole schedule. But how about opening the season in Paris, France?
Remarkable. Yeah. Like, wow. That's when I knew, like, oh, I'm at Baylor.
Yeah.
I'm at Baylor. Duke, opening with a high-level competitor, I think is a great motivator for our girls throughout the summer. For sure, like, knowing that, hey, we're about to play a team that defends. Nothing's going to come easy. And so in that regard, I think it gives us a little extra motivation just to kickstart the season in the right way. And then when you consider the momentum that will create for us walking away with what we want to walk away with from that experience. So I'm excited for the year. I think we have an opportunity to do something special. We all think that. And so the goodness is we all believe it. And so we're signing up to play through April. Okay, we're all on the same page in regards to, hey, we're here till April. So spring break canceled.
And November 3rd, I think, is that opener against Duke in Paris. Knowing that's your opener, I would think it affects you even right now. What you're doing now, and then when you hit the court, in October.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's going to motivate us in every way possible. And knowing we have a staff that every big game that we have on the schedule so far, we're already preparing for. So it's not just a Duke. Like, we're looking past Duke as well in regards to preparation. But we're not going to wait 1, 2, 3 weeks before oh, no. If we know that offense is complex, we're breaking it down in the summer.
Very good. All right, so you're new to the staff. Johnny Harris, we had on the Sic Em Podcast, new to the staff, JRH. And it's her initials also.
JRH is also her initials.
Yes.
So Richard-Harris is my last name. Yeah. So her middle name starts with the R.
Okay.
I don't remember what it is. So her full name is JRH. And it's like, man, trying to figure out how to introduce ourselves, because we're both new.
Right.
Trying to figure out how to introduce ourselves to the recruits. Like, the team sees us, they know. So in practice right now, they're calling us Coach Big J and Coach Little J.
Okay.
So that's our separation, and our little fun that we have within our group. But to the recruits, it's hard. We're gonna have to start sending selfies or something.
That's
like, hey,
funny.
This is the J that I am.
Now, that Big J and Little J, that's not going to fly when we play Kansas.
It's not going. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to fly at all.
Because their mascot is they've got a Big J and I think a baby J. So.
Yes, and I have seen them, so we're going to have to. Maybe we'll just call us by our names.
J.
Or Coach will work for that one.
Coach will work. Well, we're glad you're here.
Absolutely.
And it's very nice to visit with you.
Thank you.
And look forward to the season. I mean, such a great program under Coach Colin, and glad you're a part of it.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here.
Good. Jaelyn Richard-Harris, JRH, Baby J.
Coach
with us.
Little J.
A Little J on the Sic Em Podcast, and we appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being with us. That's our Sic Em Podcast this week. It is presented by Harley Davidson of Waco.